Recording. Artificial Intelligence weekly updates every Friday. Today is Friday, November 21st. And the slogan for today, we won't need humans in the next 10 years. This is a quote from Emad Mostak, a very good interview. Every week he does interviews. Anyway, a lot of news today, and the biggest, of course, is Gemini 3. But let's first look at the latest leaderboards. So red is Google Gemini, blue is Claude, yellow is OpenAI, green open source, mostly open source from China. So what do we see? We see that Gemini 3 Pro dominates both text arena, which is on the left, and coding arena, which is on the right. We see for coding a lot of blue color, which is Claude. Although this is thinking, I don't use thinking, I use regular Claude, which is here on not on the first place, but it's good enough. Yellow GPT 5.1 high, this is heavy, a lot of reasoning, and frankly, I don't use it. This is regular GPT 5.1. Okay, on the text, we see Grok high, like the new update Grok 4.1 is doing very well for text, for writing. And yeah, GPT 5.1 high. Okay, so these are the leaderboards. Next, let's talk about Gemini 3. Well, it's interesting because before Gemini 3, just the day before, Grok released Grok 4.1. And it climbed to the top of the leaderboard, but it stayed there for less than 24 hours. And then it was knocked down from the throne by Gemini 3. And Gemini 3 is absolutely amazing. It dominates all the leaderboards, all the benchmarks by a wide margin. It's absolutely amazing. So they have different variations of the model. And they also released GUI, the IDE for development. Actually, what they did, if you know, there was a company called Windsurf, which was Google bought their IP and some of the key people, and they created now their own IDE, which is called Antigravity. So experience liftoff. This is their slogan. But this is basically Windsurf app. Well, updated and so on. And so it is an application. You can download it for your Mac or for your Windows laptop and just use it. But it's narrow targeted for Google applications, for Gemini applications. Well, different kind you can use for images, for videos, but it's still Google. Okay, there are multiple examples of using Gemini 3. So many videos. I made some lists of tests people have done. I like this one, Mervyn Prazen, comparing Gemini 3 with Google Sonnet 4.5. And I like this because I use Claude Sonnet 4.5. And they were approximately equal. In some cases, Claude Sonnet actually was even better. So if you're using Claude Sonnet, you can continue using it. It's a good thing. Gemini 3 is now considered the best performing globally. So there are different variations of Gemini 3. There is a Flash, there is a Pro with prices $2 and $12 in and out. So you see, it's not the cheapest model, but it's a Pro version. And the pricing is different if you go beyond 200,000 tokens, because it can go up to 1 million, I think, in context length. So the pricing for long context is $4 in, $18 out. They have a DeepThink reasoning variation, and there are monthly subscriptions. One is that what I have is $20 a month, and my son has $250 a month. Well, they give half the price for first 3 months, but Gemini Ultra includes everything. Different models. It's not just Gemini LLM. It's image and video and YouTube subscription, and everything is included there. So you may consider it maybe a good thing. Anyway, Google Nano Banana Pro. This is amazing. So this image is generated. So you see all these famous people together, and it's very realistic and it's very high quality. So Google had Nano Banana image generation model before. It was like on a flash level, Gemini Flash. So it was not on Pro. But now the new model is actually Pro level. So what it can do, it can reason. It can create the image and then correct it to achieve exactly. So it's very good at following instructions. There are so many good things what it can do. You can give it multiple images and textual instructions and improve. I tried it. I was really impressed by it. So this is true professional tool, and people say that this is Adobe Photoshop killer, because instead of learning how to use Adobe Photoshop, now you can just tell Gemini exactly what you need and how to correct it and what to change. So you don't need to manually or semi-manually remove the backgrounds or change something or whatever. You just tell Gemini what you want. Yeah, this is a shameless plug for my channel. I have 572,000 subscribers and 254 videos. This is the link, so just search for Lev Selector on YouTube and subscribe. I post slides every week on GitHub. I also provide the links to Google Drive to the slides under each video. And I also always post a question for viewers. Please pause the video and answer the question. It's really helpful. Next is about Grok 4.1. So this is great. Grok, great success and very fast. The way they were growing from 0 to hitting the top of leaderboards, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. They reduced hallucination via massive reinforcement learning compute, which is great. New methods, it's agentic, it's multimodal, better creative writing, richer storytelling. It's like try to talk to it. You will see it's very entertaining. It's like you're talking to a human person. Native multimodal generation, good coding abilities. Yeah, this is the great model. You know, I never considered Grok seriously before, but now it is on the level, definitely. So they planning to release Grok 5 in the beginning of next year, and about 6 trillion parameters, which is double from about 3 trillion for the current model. And well, Elon Musk says that maybe it will achieve AGI at least. We'll see. Anyway, next, GPT 5.1. So it was GPT 5, now it's 5.1, and it is a very strong upgrade. So fast adaptive reasoning, adjust thinking time based on task complexity. So it becomes more efficient in using tokens, noticeably faster for everyday tasks, better coding performance. Different models, GPT 5.1 for everyday, and then there is a Codex model and Codex Mini. Yeah, Perplexity update. And this is very useful. I use Perplexity a lot. I love it. And now when you ask a question, you can ask it to create a document. It may be slides or spreadsheets or doc. And so you can export ready-to-use slides presentation, for example. It's available only to paid users, Pro and Max. I'm a Pro user, which is $20 a month. So yeah, so this is great. Real-time editing with AI suggestions of the existing documents, business reporting, marketing analysis. Great update, practical. Okay, China photonic quantum chip. When they say quantum, it's not really quantum. They don't have qubits, superposition, or entanglement. What they do have on one chip, they have electrical components and optical components. And with optical, what you can do, you can polarize, you can split, you can do like interference, interferometer thing, whatever, interference pattern that can represent computations like matrix multiplications, matrix by matrix multiplications. And then they convert light back to electricity. So yeah, they on certain tasks, they literally 1,000 times faster than pure electrical. So it's a massive parallelism which accomplished by using light. And they actually now productionalize it. So they built a manufacturing line so they can produce 12,000 wafers per year on this line, and each wafer gives you more than 300 chips. So it's not really like big production, but it is first example of quote quantum chip. And it's actually used, and it's actually useful, and across airspace, biomedicine, financial sectors, and so on. Another piece of news, Anthropic 30 billion in deals with Microsoft and NVIDIA. So of course, Microsoft and NVIDIA provide Anthropic with compute power, and then Anthropic they give Anthropic money, and Anthropic uses this money to buy the compute from the big guys. Okay, next, Serena open source AI coding toolkit. Well, there are so many agentic toolkits. What is happening here, they using something which they call language server protocol to give the system semantic understanding of your code. So instead of just searching for certain variables or keywords, they're actually trying to get to semantic understanding, and then from that go into editing. So they can work with different agents. Very interesting project. So from text search to semantic navigation, semantic code intelligence. You see the words they use. Ability to understand code symbols, navigate real code bases, and make precise edits with IDE-grade accuracy. So it works through an MCP server. It integrates with existing platforms like Claude Desktop, VS Code, Cursor, extensions like Klein. So you can install it locally and then use it. Next, DeepMind SIMA 2 research preview. So SIMA is an agent to play video games, basically, by observing the screen and using keyboard mouse controls like just humans do. So this is the second version. It is much better. Task completion rates jumped from 30% to 65%, approaching 76 on human benchmark. Agent now handles unseen game environments and learns from seeing and doing by itself. It understands complex instructions, reasons about goals, uses Gemini 2.5 Flash Lite, and creates autonomous learning cycle. The system learns exclusively through trial and error in new environments. Interesting. There are now more and more projects where something is happening in virtual world. And so this is the project from DeepMind, from Google. Next, Anthropic disrupting AI orchestrated cyber espionage campaign. So there was a campaign coming from China hitting certain companies, and they found it, and this campaign was using AI, Anthropic AI. Next, Flows. So this is in Google Workspace. It's a no-code AI automation platform. So it's called Flows, or Google Flows. So you can automate workflows across Gmail, Google Drive, Calendar, Chat, and Forms, Google Forms, using natural language instructions. You can create agents, do research, analyze, summarize, and so on. You can define starters, triggers, conditions, actions, and functions, and so on. Again, there are so many pipeline builders or flow builders. So this is a no-code solution, and it's coming from Google. US must back open source AI. Yeah, this is Databricks co-founder urges OpenAI race. Ali Ghodsi argues that US must back open source AI to stay ahead of China. He wants closed models risk failing behind in innovation and trust. I will talk more about it. China absolutely is winning. like strategically. Two Way and 2W AI platform creates interactive avatars. The interesting application, you can create avatars of your deceased relatives, like your parents or your grandparents, and you can talk to them. And like really, so you see avatar like coming alive on your phone. Founded by Disney Channel actor Callum Worthy. Very interesting project. Tutorial on how to use Claude to make financial dashboards. So what they do, they use Claude Sonnet 4.5, enable extended thinking, upload your financial documents there, tell what you want. Like, for example, you want to create a report or dashboard or something. They create it, then you ask it to change it, enrich it, and eventually publish and share. So you can do your financial planning and analysis. Well, of course, it's not for complicated use cases, but it's interesting how small companies now have access to this technology. Cerebras MiniMax-M2-REAP-162B-A10B. So that means total size of the model 162 billion. It's a mixture of experts, and it's 10 billion per activation. So it's a memory efficient, sparse, long context, and yeah, what they do here, they decrease number of parameters. You see, expert activation pruning to decrease from 230 billion to 162 billion total parameters, right? And while maintaining near identical accuracy to Minimax M2, which is the original model. So what's interesting here is, well, not the fact that they are running on Cerebras, but the fact that they found a way to decrease the size of the model by selectively finding what's important and what's not important inside the model. Okay, FutureHouse Kosmos AI scientist. We spoke about it before. There is an open source, and they also Edison Scientific, which is a commercial spin-off of the open source project. And what this thing does, it can go through a lot of literature, and well, it is a paid service, so you're paying like $200 per run, but they calculated that people would take months to accomplish the same type of literature research, and yeah, sometimes pursue statistically significant but scientifically irrelevant findings. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it also, by doing the analysis, it can even do discoveries. So interesting. Jeff Bezos, you know that some time ago he stepped down from ruling the Amazon, and now he's starting a new project which is called Prometheus. And he invests his own money, and there are also some other investors, total 6.2 billion, and they already have more than 100 engineers. And the idea is to do AI system in manufacturing, so the physical economy. Well, we'll see. His main engineer is Vic Bajaj. Here's his LinkedIn profile. Google AI Ultra. Well, my son is using it. It's like $250 a month, and he absolutely loves it. You get highest limits and all the features and all the models. You see, all the tools are accessible there in one place. So it's one.google.com/AI. Next, Google Gemini CLI update. Oh gosh, now with Gemini 3, interactive shell support, redesigned UI, custom command automation, sudo terminal, so you can run terminal commands like VI editor, htop, git command, and so on. Better terminal, everything is better. And yeah, you can install it. It's open source, npm install command, and you're running it. Running AlphaFold on your Mac using MLX Framework. You know, a famous Google DeepMind AlphaFold to calculate how proteins fold. You can actually run it on your Mac, And this is paper which shows an example how to do it. Usually when people are running AlphaFold, like traditionally, it's Linux and NVIDIA GPU. But in this article, they are running on a regular MacBook. And next is Google WeatherNext 2 forecasting model, next version of Google famous weather forecasting model. 8 times faster, hourly resolution, outperforms prior versions. Next, Intuit, making 100 million per year deal with OpenAI, so that Intuit software like TurboTax, Credit Karma, and MailChimp, they will use OpenAI to communicate with customers. Next, DeepSeek R1 Slim, smaller and de-censored DeepSeek R1. Similar idea as we had in one of the previous slides. You take the big model, and but yeah, this is a multiverse computing, a Spanish firm, and they made it 55% smaller. And how they do it, how they do this compression, it's not because of quantizing, it's because they identify which pieces of the network are important and which are not important, and removing the not important parts. And another thing they do, they found pieces of the network which are sensitive, like, the model was censored. Because it's a Chinese model, and on certain questions it's not supposed to answer, and so on and so on. So by going through this process, they identified the pieces which react on these things which are censored, and they removed them. So they basically uncensored the model, made it 55% smaller. Very, very interesting work. Next, DeepMind DreamerV4 achieved Minecraft mastery with 100 times less training data. So the way it works, it actually plays kind of with itself, like it creates its own dream, and then it plays and learns how to play like in this imaginary world. So you can give it some data so that it knows about the game, it knows how to play it, and then it trains itself in virtual reality. The AI was trained with only a small amount of human gameplay footage and did not interact directly with Minecraft as it was training. So this is huge because it shows you how you can train the models with 100 times less training data. Okay, next. Google Opal for automation. Well, yet another I think it's a no-code. Yeah, it's a no-code solution. You can tell it what you want. It generates the pipeline and then saves it, and you can run it using Google infrastructure, of course. So it's very valuable for fast prototyping. It's not the only tool, of course, and you've heard about Make, which is make.com, or N8N, or Zapier, and so on. There are multiple tools which allow you to do automation. If you go to any big cloud, they have multiple solutions. Of course, well, if you are a programmer, if you can do Python, you can simply write Python code, right? An engineer can use client coding assistant to write Python script to do any type of automation, including AI, and schedule it, right? He can also use ETL platforms like Windmill, Apache Airflow, and hundreds of others. But this is a no-code solution, right? Now, do I recommend it? I don't know. I haven't used it. I would go with something like Make, because Make is very well known. It supports like 3,000 apps integrations already built into it. And yeah, anyway, and this is example. Start building with Make. It's free to start. For example, sending meeting notes to Slack, moving email attachments to Drive, turning form responses into reports, syncing data between tools, cleaning information into a sheet, storing information into organized folders, and so on. Yeah, you can, well, if you're a programmer, you can just write Python scripts, or if you're not programmer, no code, you can use something like Make or Zapier or N8N or Opal if you like Google infrastructure. Okay, ReadKidz. This is a funny example. So this is application where you create books for kids. And yeah, you define, they have many examples of characters, and you can generate the text using AI, you can correct the imagery, so you can be quite creative with your book. And it's not only creating the book, but it also creates animation, like a video, which then you can publish as well. Character consistency throughout entire stories, extensive customization, professional dubbing, and so on. Yeah, this is a really great project. Toon, token-oriented object notation. So here is JSON, you see in blue, and you see that it has a lot of quotes and braces and ID. For example, the names of the fields are repeated for each entry. So ID, name, role. So you can, using Toon format, you can express the same thing much shorter. So you see, this is Toon. So you say users, there are an array of 2 elements, and it contains ID, name, and role. And then you just provide the values. So it's kind of similar to CSV. And yeah, so the files become shorter, and it's probably a future of communication. Remember, it was XML, which was very wordy. Then JSON became much more concise, but now we have Toon, and maybe Toon will become a new standard. And you can do pip install Toon Python or npm install, like for TypeScript. And you can easily convert between JSON and Toon back and forth. Next, data science libraries. We talk about AI, but I don't think you always have to use AI, because there are so many good libraries, for example, for science, for math, which can do a lot of stuff reliably, correctly. So these are several libraries which you need to, this is a very good paper which describes these libraries, which is of course pandas, which are tables like spreadsheets in memory in Python. Polars, this is like pandas but written in Rust and much faster, optimized. PyArrow, this is the format to save your data. Matplotlib and Seaborn for graphs, scikit-learn for any kind of analysis, XGBoost, I love this library. There is a variation of boosting in scikit-learn itself, but there is also a separate XGBoost. And then we have transformers from Hugging Face, we have PyCaret, and we have Great Expectations to validate data. So yeah, this is a great set of libraries everybody should know. Next, Jan LeCun is leaving Meta. This is great loss for Meta. So we spoke about it last week. I just want to reemphasize. So Jan LeCun is one of 3 godfathers of AI, along with Geoffrey Hinton and Joshua Bengio. He invented convolutional networks back in 1988. Déjà vu image compression, backpropagation advances with convolutional networks. He got a Turing Award. And he was leading Facebook AI research for a long time. And then Meta invited new leadership, and Jan LeCun, which was going completely different direction from what he wanted to do. I want you to understand, Meta created the LLMs, which are not very good, but Jan LeCun was not part of these projects at all. He was doing something else, and he now wants to create his own startup to continue doing what he's doing, which is basically world models, which is similar to what Fei-Fei Li is doing. And yeah, so this departure follows Meta's major reorganization after CEO Mark acknowledged falling behind competitors like OpenAI. Meta invests a lot of money, bought Scale CEO Alexander Wang, who is a young person, but what he was good at is hiring a lot of people to label data. He's not a professor, he's not a researcher, he's not a scientist. And Jan LeCun was put in a position to report to Alexander Wang. I think maybe this was the last drop, like why he finally decided to leave and just continue to do science and development. There are many other people who left Meta, unfortunately. Next, Magai.co or Magi.co. Very interesting service. What they offer, they give you in one interface for one monthly fee, like $20 a month. You get access to more than 50 models. And these are LLMs and image models and even some video models, but they're all in the same place. And as you start talking to the system and you switch the model, you don't lose the context. You don't lose the history. So you don't have to start from scratch or copy paste between different logins. Everything is in one place. It saves you a lot of time and money, frankly, because if you use multiple models and you pay for them, here you pay only like for one service, and it includes everything. And it has a lot of add-ons like web scraping, importing YouTube videos, and so on. It's a very good service, I think. Next, I mentioned Dr. Fei-Fei Li, and there is a very good interview where she talks about current state and the future. So she used to be a Stanford professor. She maybe still is. She also served as the chief AI scientist at Google Cloud. Oh yeah, director of Stanford AI Lab and co-founder Stanford Human Centered AI Institute. So she is famous for creating ImageNet. With everybody, remember, like more than 10 years ago, there were competitions for image classifications, and they were all using ImageNet dataset, which is 15 million images across multiple categories. So she believes that world models, spatial intelligence, understanding 3D world is the important as a language. So the models that they develop, this is like a virtual 3D models. Okay, next, China involution strategy. This is kind of scary. So this is a very good video from Julia McCoy. I recommend to subscribe to her channel. And she describes the China involution strategy. What is the strategy? Government sponsors a lot of private companies in different provinces, a lot of them, and they compete with each other. And then the winners, just maybe 2-3 companies, the government helps them to get globally on international market, and that's how they dominate certain areas. Like for example, rare earth metals or electrical vehicles. They produce electrical vehicles better and cheaper than Tesla, and the only reason why we are not seeing them here in America because, well, they're not allowed to. But in other countries, they do, and they dominate the market. So now they go into spaceships like rockets. They go so satellites, rockets, humanoid robots. 60 out of 160 humanoid robot companies are in China. In America, only 30. So in America, it's like twice less than in China. But China also controls the parts, the production. So they can manufacture those robots faster and much, much cheaper than, let's say, in America. Or look, for example, in rockets. In China, there are 40 Chinese commercial launch companies, 40. In America, we have only 2. We have Elon Musk's company and Jeff Bezos' company, the Amazon creator company. He also created. So there is absolutely no comparison, and this is huge money. The government, it's really $1 trillion bet. the government of China invests money in supporting those companies. Some of these companies die, some of these companies succeed, but the result, and this pattern repeats over and over again. So they know it works and they get to the dominance, and that's what's happening. By 2026, Chinese humanoid robots are expected to flood global markets at unbeatable prices. By 2027, China may establish irreversible supply chain control on strategic industries. Okay, next. Elon Musk and Jensen Huang interview say they were visiting Saudi Arabia, where they build. There is a company there which is sponsored by government, which is called Humane. So we're talking about billions of dollars. We're talking about like years of development, infrastructure, training, putting AI into schools, doing research and development. They also discussed, like for example, Elon Musk was saying that putting data centers in space will not take 10 years, it will probably only take 5 years. And yeah, so this is actually a very interesting conversation. Next, this is conversation with Gina Wickman, interviewed by Joe Polish. I love Joe Polish. This is about marketing, doing the business, having life as you're doing the business. Well, I will not talk about it, but if you download the slides and you click, this is a YouTube video, a lot of proven advice from very established business person. Next, 10 meta trends that will define your future. From Peter Diamandis, and these are the trends: abundance, food, energy, education will become abundant, AI and quantum, humanoid robots, autonomous systems, longevity, medicine, biotechnology, huge developments there, digital currencies, crypto, robotaxis, flying cars, drones, networks and sensors, digital manufacturing, metaverse and XR, and space exploration. Yeah. Next, well, this is about jobs and layoffs. There is no much change, as you can see, in November. This is me as usual, and thank you.